Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, with some thoughts on the passing of Muhammad Ali. Now, from time to time, we've had transcendent athletes. Athletes where you look at them and you wonder to yourself, is this athlete the best ever, right, in their field? I'm still trying to get my head around Steph Curry hitting 402 threes this last basketball season. Every time I see LeBron James, this question seems to pop up in my mind. Now just imagine such an athlete, completely transcendent, someone doing things that it's hard to imagine can be done, right? And just imagine that person occupying the throne of boxing, the heavyweight championship, right? I'm here to tell you that if you look up Ali's fight against Cleveland Williams, the Ali of the mid-60s, right? That fight, by the way, takes place in Cleveland Williams' backyard. You're going to see a talent level. You're going to see a skill level. You're going to see a presence that's going to have you asking yourself questions such as, is this the best heavyweight I have ever seen in my life? Right? You'll realize that he certainly, at a minimum, belongs in the conversation. The hand speed is dazzling. The spacing is dazzling. The punch selection, the combinations, the whole thing is dazzling. Right? When you see the end of the fight, when you see just the execution, the confidence, you understand that you're seeing someone who is transcendent, someone who is special, someone who belongs in the conversation, someone on the short list. Now, Ali was not concerned about selling sneakers, right? Just imagine this transcendent athlete taking on the world. Just imagine an athlete like this having a message, right? Not a corporate message, but the message of, I'm the best, the greatest, but the system is trying to hold me back, as it has so many others, because I'm black, because I'm Muslim, right? The system, the powerful, are trying to impose on me views that I don't have, right? As Ali put it one time, at a time when the United States was at war with Vietnam, Ali said, I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. Right? Now, this is years before John Carlos and Tommy Smith. Right? This is an American, an Olympic gold medalist, challenging his fans. Right? He wasn't going to be a lapdog for government propaganda. If he disagreed with foreign policy or with the treatment of fill in the blank, the dispossessed in the United States, he was going to say so. He wasn't going to run from it. So he shows up to fight heavyweight champion Sonny Liston with his spiritual advisor Malcolm X in his entourage. Understand, he wasn't afraid to take on establishment intellectuals. If you Google him here online and Google William Buckley, you're going to find out that he appeared on the firing line with William Buckley. Right? If you Google him, you're going to come across a speech he gave at Harvard University. Right? According to legend, Joe DiMaggio was surprised as he came up through the ranks at how many times he was called a Dago. Right? Now understand, in the 1950s, in particular in the late 50s, early 60s, right around when Ali is winning his gold medal in Rome, there was a boxing scandal in which a mob guy, Frankie Carbo, was found to have fixed fights. Right? I believe it's around 1961 that Frankie Carbo gets sentenced to 25 years in prison for fixing fights. You might recall the movie Raging Bull, when they catch up with Jake LaMotta, right, about a fight he supposedly fixed against Billy Fox. Yet, just a few years later, here was Ali with an Italian trainer, Angelo Dundee. As you could imagine, in the 1960s, there was tension between the Muslim community and the Jewish community. Yet here was Ali in the middle of the 1960s with a young Jewish promoter, Bob Arum. You know, Dodger announcer Charlie Steiner talks about being on a college campus and catching hell for opposing the Vietnam War. Understand, Bob Arum today in interviews talks about how in 1966, forget the folklore, the United States as a whole was 95% in favor of the Vietnam War and only 5% opposed. Yet here was Ali, standing with the 5%, standing with the Charlie Steiners of the world. Here was a boxer opposing combat. Now, you've heard the phrase larger than life. Understand that this man defines it. Right? Reuben Hurricane Carter falls out of boxing, right? Is convicted of murder. Looks like he's out of options. And then here is Muhammad Ali picking up his cause, having all of us re-examine his case, supporting him during the retrial. I can tell you on a personal note that I remember in the late 70s, early 80s, I was living in Queens, New York City, and we were concerned about a series of murders of African American children taking place in the Atlanta area. Now understand, back then, you didn't have social media. You didn't have the internet. Right? You had 3 or 4 channels on TV, national channels. And let's just say minorities were so rare on these shows that we would actually call each other and say, hey, you know, there's a minority on, you know, Bill Cosby is hosting The Tonight Show, things like that, right? And these murders were taking place, and there seemed to be a hush in the media about these murders. We were all concerned, right? I can tell you, in my community, in a different state than Atlanta, we were wondering whether anyone was going to actually properly investigate this ongoing string of homicides. And then suddenly here was Ali. Not boxer, humanitarian, statesman. Ali quietly offers a lot of money, right? I believe it was something like $400,000 for any information. This was in the late 70s, early 80s, right? 400,000, a lot of money now. You can imagine what it was then, right? And Ali steps forward, shines a light on the atrocity, right? I cannot tell you how much of a hero the guy was. I'll close by simply referring to an event you can find on Google, because I'm getting choked up and I'm not sure if I can make it through the next 5 minutes of this video. So, if you type in Ali talks a suicidal man down from a ledge, you're going to find out that after the worst loss of his career, he gets beaten by an underrated champion who used to be his sparring partner, Larry Holmes. Right after Ali, of course, tries to return from a long period outside of the ring. Right after Ali has his worst professional moment. He's in LA on business. And then he hears that a guy a few blocks over is suicidal and is on a ledge threatening to jump. Now, I can't do the rest of the story justice. I'm just going to encourage you to Google the story and to find out the rest of it. I'll just close by saying, as great a fighter as he was in the ring, he was at least as great a person outside of it. Truly larger than life. If you have an Ali story that you want to share with all of us, I hope you do so in the comment section to this video. My prayers and thoughts go out to his family and to other fans like me who remember this guy. Step it up. Thanks for stopping by.